Okay, taking what you saw in the video earlier today, I want to now be able to use that to go back to the idea of unit rates. I'm going to see if this makes more sense to you. So if I know, for example, that let's see, chocolate chip cookies cost $1.80. What I can then do is figure out what one cookie is. And so let's forget what I put in the other video, if you've seen that already. And I just want to write cookies here, so I know that that's what I'm talking about, and then $1.80 here, because I know that that's the cost. And we're going to set this up just like we set up the ones in the other one. So that way I can figure out how do I get to what I want to be able to find out. I want to know what the cost is of one cookie. Sometimes you might hear each cookie, but also one cookie. So here's cookies, so I know my 1 is going to go here. And then I ask myself, what did I do to go from 5 to 1? I divided by 5. What am I going to have to do here? I'm going to have to divide by 5. So I take $1.80 divided by 5. 5 goes into 1, 0. Subtract, bring down, divide. You can see I put my decimal straight up. Multiply, subtract, bring down. Oops, sorry, that's a 0. Divide, multiply, subtract, nothing else to bring down. So that means that one cookie costs 36 cents. So I've been able to use these equivalent ratios to be able to get to the cost of one item. So that's where my cookies were in my numerator. Let me try another one that's a little bit different but does the same thing. I want to do the same thing here as I did on the last slide with you, but now I want you to be able to see that I can set it up and solve for it in different ways too. Okay, so I know I have miles and I know I have gallons. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to match things up the way that they are here. 138 miles, so 138 miles. 6 gallons, 6 gallons. So it matches up that way. What I want to think about is that I could have done it the other way. I could have put the gallons on top. No, it doesn't matter. I just have to be really careful when I write this next step. Okay, I want to know how far can I go on 1 gallon? Or how can I go far on, I could have said or, each gallon. So that's what I want to think about. So 1 gallon is going to be here. I'm dividing by 6 to go from 6 to 1. If I divide that by 6, I'm going to also divide the 138 by 6, my numerator by 6. So I'm going to just make a little space here to figure out what it is for each gallon. So I'm going to take 6 goes into 138. All right, I'm going to divide, that's a 0, multiply, subtract, bring down, divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, divide, multiply, subtract, and there's nothing left to bring down. So I know this is 23. What I do now is I go back to my original labels. So that means I can go 23 miles for 1 gallon. Okay, so try that with the work that you're doing with unit rates.